Okay, Allan, if we start by asking you how you feel the team's campaign has gone in Malaysia.
I think all said and done, the boys have done a really great job. You know, we won the opening time trial with Zabriskie and had the lead for 5 days. Unfortunately, Dave got a bit of heat stroke. Tom Danielson crashed on stage 3 and got an infected leg from it, so he had to stop the race as well. So that was a bit of bad luck both sides, but the rest of the race, the team, you know, we got three neo-pros here. Tom Peterson and Dave Zabriskie, and they've really raced to win the other days. You know, we've had Raymond Creeder 2nd and 3rd in a couple of stages, and I think they've been really batting on well, trying to get in the breakaway and trying to make the race, you know, turn the race to their hands so we can win another stage.
Looking further ahead, what do you see as the prime targets for the team this year?
Obviously, after our win last weekend in Belgium at Newsblood, I think the team's standing really strong. Got a lot of depth there for the classics. You know, obviously we don't have a Hushovd or a Bornen or a Cancellara, but we have a really strong lineup. You know, where we can count on probably 10 guys to make up the basis of the Classics campaign. And I think just showing that Sepp van Mark can win and beat Tom Bornen, I think, you know, with Johan van Summeren backing that up, Tyler Farrar, Heinrich Hausler, Martijn Maaskant, we've got a great lineup that could go to the finish quite a few times.
Which races do you see most likely of the Classics, you know, for the team to shine in?
Well, again, the way Seppa rode in at Newsblood, you know, we've had Harelbeke earmarked for him since earlier in the winter, for him as well as Heinrich Hausler, and for Waregem, Tyler Farrar, and also for Ghent-Wevelgem, Tyler Farrar. For Milan-San Remo, Heinrich Hausler was close there a couple of years ago, and hopefully that's where we can make the difference this year. And then we get to, you know, Tour of Flanders. You know, we've got a few guys to play, but, you know, obviously the couple of names that come to mind are Hausler, Van Mark, Farrar, Maaskant, and then you go to Roubaix, and then we've got, you know, a good lineup there. We won it last year with Van Summeren. Again, Maaskant's great for that. You know, Navadauskas, Hausler, Farrar. We got a good lineup, so we got any number of cars to play.
You mentioned Heinrich Hausler. He's had a couple of years that haven't been quite as good as his first with Cervelo. So you think he's back to his best this year?
Well, that was the whole plan this winter. You know, we had a couple of years with injury and operation, and coming back from that and trying to find the legs and the form and the morale that he did have a couple of years ago. I know firsthand that he's lived this winter, you know, like a real pro, and he's been really on track since November, you know. I saw a message the other day that said that Heinrich had said that he'd been out training and it felt like he didn't have a chain on, and that sounds like really good. He said he felt like he had the legs from 2009, and it's not just having the legs of 2009, it's transforming that into success, because just being good isn't good enough. We want wins, and I think Heinrich realises that's the next step of his progression in his career.
There's been stories suggesting that he won't do the Tour this year. Is that confirmed?
Yes, and that's one thing Heinrich asked for himself. You know, he's on the long list for the Olympic selection for Australia. He wants to come in there with a best possible preparation for the Olympics, and he feels that's not doing the Tour de France. He would do Poland and possibly Tour of Wallonia, and he would get a good build up to that without doing the Tour.
Mention the Tour. Who do you see as the guys this year for GC from the team?
Well, you know, we've got 4 or 5 guys that could play a role. Who, you know, some of the guys have ridden top 10 before. Danielson, Van der Velde, Hegedal. You know, we've got Dan Martin coming up, who showed in the Vuelta last year that he's got what it takes to climb and win stages and possibly be there for the mountain jersey. You know, we've got some other young guys coming up like Talansky and Stetner. So, you know, we've got a wide variety of guys who could, you know, play a big role in the GC.
You mentioned Dan Martin. He was second in Lombardy as well. So do you think this will be a big year for him?
Well, yes, it will be a big year. I think if he progresses in the same fashion as he did last year. Obviously, riding GC is a little bit different than a one-day stage race or getting a stage in the Vuelta. But I think, you know, he's at that stage where he is progressing and has worked hard on his aerodynamics, on his road bike, on his time trial bike, this winter, and those will make a big effect on his GC chances.
So overall, it looks like the team is, you know, has a lot of good cards to play this season.
Yes, I think we've got a very good balanced team, you know. I mean, I think it's still a work in process. A lot of new riders coming in, finding where they fit, you know, getting the lead out train together, seeing how the GC riders are shaping up. Some of the young GC riders coming in, you know, Talansky, Stettner, as I mentioned before, and then you got the classics guys. And I think, you know, this year we'll have a more bonded classics team than we did last year, because it was basically Cervelo and Garmin coming together. It wasn't a team that had been built, but more of a team that had been put together. And I think this year we'll have a better strategy and more clear lines going into the classics.